You are now in tune with Broadband Bullies.
Yeah, Steph. Yeah. Hey, niggas quick to interject with disrespect. Won't compromise my intellect. Better watch your tone when they calls, get your shit collect. I been on my home while you slave for your architect. Deaf a masterpiece, I do art with the tech. Niggas need rest, go to sleep, get your pillow fluff. Your bitch like a dinner stuff, she's begging me to fill her up. I'm from the south, ain't no healing us. Feet planted, ain't no pillaging us. I know niggas, they hate allergies. Quick to wipe a nose, your lights off, your store closed. Big stepper, you can see the sign. Fuck a horoscope, the pen mighty, but I keep the sword close. And Lord knows my torso is equal. That's God body, kill rappers, hide the body. Bust your block like karate, this is just a fucking hobby. So I did it pro bono for promo. That's some shit you don't know. You should see the shit I'm mad enough when Click got you mad as fuck. I never knew a love like this. I never knew a love like this. I never knew a love like this. Hey, look at all this love I get. I never knew a plug like this. I never knew a plug like this. Yeah, I never knew a plug like this. Into the internet.
Yeah, I'm from the land of the kings. Fur coats and golden rings. Where they sold drugs for better means. Coke, crack, weed, amphetamines. Well, loyalty was based on how long you fed your team. Hustle from the morning to the sundown. Fake smiles, watch them shadows when that sun down. Plant a seed, watch it grow, man, these streets wild. Or get buried in the earth when that sun round. They tried to count me out, but I made it through. A lot of casualties along the way, yeah, we cried enough. This up and showing out. Make sure you all hit the like button if you haven't subscribed. Hit that red button along with the notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop content or I go live. Oh, yes. It is one of them days, baby. And I call upon you all because we have to have another conversation. Because it is getting ridiculous. It is getting ridiculous out here. So I decided to go live because I have to have a conversation with my brothers and my sisters. Maybe I'm tweaking, right? It could be me, right? Maybe I'm wrong, okay? But it is some pain and it is some tears out in these social media streets. And I want y'all to be careful now. I want y'all to be really, really careful because, you know, it's cold in a lot of part of the United States right now, including where I'm at. And those tears can get frozen and turn to ice, black ice. You could slip. You can fall on these ponytails. So when you're out and about and you're walking around and you're driving, just be careful and be safe on where you walk and where you drive, because these frozen ponytails out here, I have you sliding all over the sidewalk and all over the street, okay? But before we get started, I'm gonna keep that little profile pic on the screen right there, because that profile pic says a lot about one of the topics that we're going to be talking about today. But I'm going to do my due diligence before I turn on this camera and everything. I'm going to shout. I'm going to give you all respect and make sure that I call your name out for showing up and supporting this platform, okay? Shout out to Bria. Shout out to Badman. Shout out to Joe Henry. Shout out to Real Levon Kaysen. What's up, Levon? Shout out to Scope. Shout out to Fark. Champion Edition. Last Warning. Joel, what's up, Joel? You have to say hi one time, Joel. I see you, player. Just say hi one time, Joel, and I got you, player. Shout out to East West. Shout out to Crazy Horse. Shout out to Gunpowder Guru 24. Shout out to Master Sip 40. And shout out to Damian Percival. Look, I was going to wait till later on, but we're going to get this out now. Because not only are people out there making a fool of themselves with the crying and exposing their emotions over a system that they call trash, over a system they said that nobody didn't want, over a system they said they didn't have any games, over a system they say nobody is buying, over a system in a company that they continuously say is in last place, but yet they're out there showing their emotions. Emotions make you cry sometimes. Oh, I'm going to say that one more time. Emotions make you cry sometimes. Yo, it's going to be another one of them shows. Because I'm finna go off. Let me turn this camera on. Look. Let me turn this camera on. Excuse my background. I'm moving stuff around and stuff like that. But look, putting stuff up. Look. Let's talk about it. I got the Scully on. It's cold in Chicago right now. You know, I'm representing the weather outside right now. I had to get up at around 7 something this morning and go knock the snow off on one of the cars because my girl decided to go out and pick up some extra stuff for breakfast. And I took one of the cars to the car wash, and I think somebody cuffed our the thing that brush off the snow and stuff in your car and get the ice off the window. I think somebody at the car wash took our shit. My lady like, man, yo, where's the? She called me screaming like, where's the what's her name? And I'm like, it should be in the car. And I go out there and I look, and it's not even in the car. And I had to go hood with it. And And if you're from the hood, if you ain't got one of those snow brushes to brush the snow off the car, you're going straight in the crib and you're grabbing one of them brooms and you're going right back outside to get that snow off the car. Facts. So I'm gonna keep it 100. I went in the crib. We got 2 sets of rooms. We got one for upstairs and one for downstairs. The children area, their rooms and stuff are downstairs, along with my office. So they keep a broom and a dustpan of their own, so they can clean up their area and their surrounding areas and stuff like that. I went and got their broom. I had on and I had on shorts too. It's crazy. I went out there with shorts on. When the snow, it has to warm up. It has to warm up the snow. Let me mute this. It has to warm up the snow, so it wasn't so bad. But man, bro, I went straight to that broom. Got that broom out the closet, went out there, and swept the truck off. But we finna get to what is up, man? What is going on with these ponies? I don't even know if I want to call them ponies anymore, or Sony fans or the Sony community. What is going on? Can anybody tell me, can a Sony PlayStation fan that's most likely in the chat, can you all tell me, or can you tell me what's going on with your community at the moment? Because what I'm seeing on Twitter and in some of these forums, it's very childish. It is very childish. I don't know if I need to go grab some Pampers. I don't need to go if I need to go make a bottle of milk for you cats. What? Do y'all need a Gerber? What? Gerber baby? What? You're acting like Gerber babies out there. You're acting like Gerber babies. And the first topic that we're going to talk about is this thing with Aaron Greenberg's profile pic. Yes, we have a topic where we're talking about a group of fanboys that are crying over a profile pic. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. Look, when I first saw it on Twitter, I couldn't believe it myself. But we have fanboys that are crying over a profile pic. Okay. And I don't even know where to begin with this. Like I said, if Xbox is trash, right? If it has no value to you in terms of the services that it offers, the infrastructure that it offers, as well as the content that it offers, then you should feel no type of way in terms of that profile pic. All right. But I understand. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about somebody took the video. We did a show. I got a new show with my guys Mello and Noah. And it's called State of Gaming. And towards the end of the first episode, we talk about how Sony fans was reaching out to Joe Biden and other Congress members to try to get the acquisition between Microsoft and Activision stopped, right? So I made fun of that, right? Like, this is crazy. We're reaching out to the president now on a gaming issue when he's trying to push the Build Back Better plan. He has better things to do than worry about the needs of some fanboys trying to reach out to him to tell him to stop Microsoft from acquiring Activision. That's crazy in itself. So I made fun of it. And so this guy on Twitter went and chopped the video up. But he chopped it up to a point where if you look at it, you think I'm being insensitive. Well, maybe you might look at the whole thing and say I'm insensitive. I really don't care. I don't care about your feelings, how you feel, how you felt about the video. So we're going to talk about that too, because over the years, y'all have a track record of being insensitive to the Xbox community, right? And now the tables is turning and you want people to be sympathetic to your emotions and your feelings based on the decisions that Microsoft had made over the last year or two. We're not doing that, right? We're not doing that. Another thing I'm going to talk about is the truth about this acquisition, the real reason. I've seen a lot of videos of people saying the real reason why Microsoft is buying Activision, but and they all pretty much the same. But I have a different angle. I have a different spin, and I have factual information on this. And shout out to my peoples. They know who they are for blessing me. I can't expose this information. I can't show what was shown to me. I can't say what I seen or what I read verbatim because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But I will try to paraphrase to get your understanding of where Microsoft is and why they acquire Activision. And it has nothing to do with Call of Duty. It has nothing to do with Sony. And another thing is how the new antitrust laws correlates with this move that Microsoft is making in terms of acquiring Activision. But we'll get to that a little bit later. I want to start off with this though. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share, let me see here. I'm going to share this. Okay. Y'all can see that, right? Right. These are Sony fanboys. And I think they all must be in the DM together because they all in cahoots. They all are stressing the same message, right? And I don't expect Aaron Greenberg to respond to this, and he shouldn't, because you work for $1 trillion company. You all just purchase or are acquiring one of the biggest publishers in this industry, and so you don't want any it's already negative energy around that purchase in terms of the things and the dealings that's been going on with Activision, and to respond to any of this buffoonery and stupidity and ignorance is beneath you, brother. The thing is, I don't get in. Shout out to Luca. Shout out to Luca, the Queen Luca from Chicago. I read her tweet, and she made a great point. He is the head of marketing for Microsoft. They just spent $70 billion on one of the biggest publishers in gaming, or the fourth biggest publisher, or whatever, in gaming. He has a right to make a profile pic representing his company, Xbox, and a newly acquired character that comes along with that acquisition in his profile pic. Once again, Luca pointed this out. He is the head of marketing at Xbox. He get paid to market all things gaming and Xbox related. The man is excited because not only is his marketing teams going to get bigger than what they already are. When they brought Bethesda, I saw on stage when he was working with the marketing department with Bethesda. He works with that department, right? Now he has a whole nother marketing division to deal with in terms of Activision and Blizzard. Bethesda, Xbox, Activision, Blizzard. He has to manage all of that, right? So, to his excitement that he's going to be engulfed in all of that, working with some of the biggest IPs in this industry, some of the most iconic characters and brands in this industry, the other side is trying to say, no, you don't get a chance. You don't supposed to do that. You don't even own the company yet. What? You don't have to own the company yet. Microsoft has some of the best lawyers in the world. Probably got 10 or 15 of them lawyers on this acquisition alone. So he is confident, just like all the other experts that you see on your news channel and your news station, that this deal is going to go through. Because the game industry is too big for Microsoft to have a monopoly or to be intruding on any type of antitrust laws outside of the issues that are going on at Activision themselves. And somebody, I want to shout out to ILP, the Lord's podcast. There was a guy on there. Let me see here. There was a guy on there, and he was breaking down the numbers. Let me see here. Let me look at, I'm going to do this here. I'm going to close this out. It was a guy on there, and he broke down the numbers. And I just, before I started reading off this ignorant, and I made a tweet about this. Let me charge my Apple Watch up. I made a tweet about this, right? But let me show you how insignificant this purchase. Well, it's not insignificant in the overall grand scheme of what they're trying to do, right? But I'm telling you Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Let me go back to here. Go to all cloud. Did I put it here? Nope. Did I put it here? Nope. Where did I put it at? Let me see. Where did I put it at? I know I wrote it at the bottom of one of these notes that's already have. Let me see here. And let me move this out the way. Okay, here we go. Oh, that lets me know my iCloud is not syncing properly. Okay, now it's synced when I opened it up. Okay. And I could close that. Okay, so look. And I forgot his name. I think his name was Dutch, if I'm not mistaken. And he brought these numbers to that show. He said there's over 2,300 developers. I mean, game developers, companies in the United States alone. There are over 525 publishers in the United States alone. He said there are 3,000 to 4,000 publishers in studios worldwide and almost 4 million developers worldwide. Microsoft, he stated that Microsoft acquiring Activision is like them having only 15 to 17% of that entire sector. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. Look at this. This guy here. He says, Xbox has some very good people. Although I make jokes, I really respect the intellect of its leaders. But this guy, I could never stand the way he talks and his attitude. Unprofessional, emotionally driven, console warrior, marketing for bots. Shake my head. Because he put a profile, because he put a character of Crash Bandicoot in his profile picture. Understand this, people. He's not coming out and verbally saying, nah. He didn't disrespect Sony. He didn't disrespect anybody fan base. All he did was show his excitement for them acquiring a new company. This is the pain and tears. They will tell you they're not mad. These are grown men. These are grown men, people. Look at this. Damn, how can Phil Spencer agree with this? This is something that's really rude and gives bad feedback to Xbox. People like this should not work at this level, just my opinion. Because they're saying he is trolling because he put Crash Bandicoot in his profile picture. What are we doing here? What is going on? There's supposed to be a community filled with greatness. This is supposed to be a community of gamers that have the best of the best games, the elite games. Ain't nobody above can mess with Sony and their studios. We don't have to worry about nobody else. Xbox is trash, is dead in the water. They can't compete, but yet these grown men are emotional because a guy that works, that is the head of marketing for Xbox, have a character that his company just acquired in his profile picture. And instead of them recognizing and realizing that, hey, he could just be excited for that acquisition, they're assuming he's trolling. That's just them. That's those insecurities. They're reflecting how they're feeling towards him. They are literally reflecting their emotions on how they feel about this acquisition towards him, to the point, right? To the point where we got to find something to direct our energy towards, because this is crazy. Microsoft trying to bab the industry like that. Oh, look at Aaron Greenberg. I don't like him. He has Crash Bandicoot in his profile pic. All the ponies, let's get together and be on the same accord and send the same message. This is beyond me. I know the Xbox community do some crazy. I know some people in the Xbox community do some crazy things, but between trying to reach out to the president for retweeting Ralph Nader tweets, trying to get them to stop this acquisition, to now crying and complaining about a goddamn profile picture. Where have we gone? What is really, these are grown men. Look at OTI. You know, some will have no shame in bragging about a creation developed by their competitor. Sony did not create Crash Bandicoot. I repeat, Sony did not create Crash Bandicoot. They did not. He wasn't. This is, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But from my understanding, they didn't create Crash Bandicoot. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna have ponies in the chat. They're gonna be saying, post up, you don't play no games. They're gonna say, post up, how many games have you played from Activision? I got that. I'm gonna answer your questions if you want it to be answered. Shout out to my brother, Play Romantics with the $5. What up, Post? Only shoes you need is church shoes, homie. I honestly think Microsoft should troll all day, every day. Look, they should, but they're bigger than that because they have a goal and they can't troll or do anything like that that will impact or affect that acquisition in any type of way. That's why Aaron Greenberg is not going to say nothing. And you'll probably not see him tweet for a very long time. You probably not see any Microsoft executive tweet for a long time. They all might have been told to stay off social media or anything just in case one of these rabid fanboys might entice them to say something or do something that might affect this acquisition. I haven't seen, and matter of look, go look. All right. He says, some will have no shame in bragging about a creation developed by their competitor. PlayStation will never need to use a previous Xbox IP to brag. They create their own masterpieces. Lord have mercy. Lord. They pay for masterpieces. They buy masterpieces. Now, don't get me wrong. They have created, some great IP. But to sit up here and say all they do is create, no, they buy them. They buy them. Just like Microsoft do. And the bag might be different, but that's not even the point I'm trying to make. Y'all gonna see the point I'm trying to make. Then Wooly Gamer, he cried every look. Wooly, y'all know Wooly. This man, look. I mean, you never catch Yoshida posing next to Darth Raven. Microsoft business has no dignity, man. No dignity, man. No respect either. Who are they disrespecting? Didn't Sony sell the Crash IP to Activision? Tell me if I'm wrong in the chat. Did Sony not sell the Crash IP to Activision? I could be wrong. Can somebody tell me in the chat? Did Sony not sell the Crash IP to Activision? Tell me if I'm lying. You want to talk about disrespect? You go tell Sony they disrespectful for selling your their IP or their iconic character that was the face of PlayStation at one point to Activision. Some people saying fact, some people saying they did, some people saying no. I'm going to look up. I'm going to look up on this. I know Naughty Dog created Crash, but wasn't that was prior to Sony owning Naughty Dog, right? That was prior to Sony owning a Naughty Dog, because Sony feel if they're funding in your IP, they want ownership of the IP. That's the reason why they turned down Insomniac. That's the reason why they turned down Insomniac. And then Insomniac went over to Microsoft. And Microsoft said, you know what? Look, and guess what? Insomniac was making games for Sony for years. 4 years. Imagine making great content for a company for years. And you go ask that company, say, hey, we got a title that we're working on called Sunset Overdrive. And we say, this time, we want retain ownership of our IP. And that's company that you've been working with for years, helping their system and their platform, still tell you no. Didn't allow you to go to the competitor. And what Microsoft do? They respected Insomniac. They understood the magnitude of the situation in terms of Insomniac in their culture, how they develop the content that they're putting out. Look, you can retain IP. Just make it exclusive to our system. You put in the work. We know your pedigree. That should have came from Sony. That should have been Sony telling Insomniac that. So Naughty Dog created Crash Bandicoot. And I think it was prior to Sony owning Naughty Dog. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. But if I am, please correct me in the chat. I'm not always right. Given that Naughty Dog was making that IP for Sony, and Sony was invested in that IP, we retain ownership of that IP. Don't get mad at Aaron Greenberg because Sony sold that shit to Activision. If Sony didn't care about the IP, why should you? Look at this. Grown man, this is why I will never buy an Xbox. I don't want to be a part of an Xbox community because he got a profile pic. Realize, this is a profile pic. I don't want to be a part of the Xbox community. I will be a part of that. This man put a profile pic of Crash Bandicoot in his profile. He put a picture of a character that he's acquiring in his profile pic. This is why I don't want to buy Xbox and you didn't want to be a part of the community in the first place. You just wanted to say something. Your player follow the leader. Here go OTI again. I'm not a fan of Xbox. We all know that, OTI. But you speak on it every day. We know that, OTI. You speak on it every day. I'm not a fan of Xbox games because I find the quality much lower than PlayStation's. However, I never had an issue with the platform. Some execs, though, do put one off from ever investing in Xbox. Just can't support such people. Classless. And he's responding to Willie Quine tweet about the same thing. And then Salty, who got stumped out by Colin, and the footage was deleted, but we're not going to talk about that. We're not here to talk about that. He said, what the F is this? Corny and clown style of Xbox execs. PlayStation execs will never. We know what PlayStation execs will do, but we ain't even about to get in there. I'm not even about to stoop that low like people stoop on that tweet, on Salty King's on tweet. Let me show y'all something. They call this taunting, right? They call this taunting, right? Let me show you something. We're going to stop that, right? Let me show y'all something. They call that taunting, right? And so I brung up on one of my tweets, I brung up this. Where is it? I brung up this. Let me open that up. And let me share this again. And let me tell you what they told me. I brung up this. No one said anything. The PlayStation community, all of the media sites shared this video out. They laughed, they applauded, and they called PlayStation a genius for this. They did not call it taunting, right? They called them a genius for this, right? Well, they told me that post, this is different. Hold on, let me see. Do I got the tweet up there? All right. Let me share this here. Let me share my screen with you all. Gonna do that and gonna move back to share screen. I'm gonna hit here. Gonna do that and we're gonna go here. Willie says there's a difference. Sony trolling Microsoft for when they effed up and apologized for, and Mess just doing some effed ups. There's no difference. Taunting is taunting, regardless of the situation. You can't put stipulations on taunting. Taunting is taunting. I don't care what it is. They were taunting and making fun of Xbox, and you all called it genius. You all laughed, and you shared the video all over Twitter, all over social media. Matter of fact, this is an iconic video that this is how you share games. At the backstage of their when they was announcing the PS4, that video became an iconic and such a part of the PS4 generation, right? But they call it genius, right? They say they're genius. And he said, no, I don't care the intentions behind why Sony was doing what they're doing or the intentions you think Greenberg has. Taunting and making fun of someone is taunting and making fun of someone. And you can't put stipulations on it based on the situation to try to make your argument on why you think you don't like this man who don't know you from a can of paint. The hypocrisy. This is pain. This is tears. And whether he was doing it or not, that's not the point. He has every right to put whatever profile picture he wants on his Twitter profile. Right? This is the childish shit. I can't even believe that we're sitting up here having this conversation. And you know what it did? It enforced, but the Xbox community do what they do all the time. They got behind Aaron Greenberg, who's not going to respond to this, given the ongoing acquisition that's in play. Who's not going to respond to this, is not going to say nothing. I don't even know. You might not see them on social media for a while, like I say. And if they do, it might be every now and then. Right? They start making their profile pics the same and just replacing Aaron Greenberg face with their face to be in solidarity with him. And I know he see it. But these coming from rabid fanboys who say we don't care about Xbox. We don't care what y'all playing over there in that trash Game Pass. We don't care about that trash Xbox. Phil Spencer, Aaron Green, they trash, Microsoft trash. They need to get out the game. But y'all whining. These are adults here, bro, crying. They're crying, y'all, over a profile pic. If they not hurt, then I don't know. He hurt. I can't even get my he hurt out. He hurt. I'm about to lose my voice. I can't even get it out. They hurt. I can't even get it out, bro. This is madness. But guess what? Guess what? Let me show you something. Let me show you something. And I know this franchise is synonymous with PlayStation, but PlayStation sold this IP a long time ago. Sold this IP a long time ago. Guess what though? Look, let me show you something. Let me show. What are we doing here? Sony have taunted and disrespected Microsoft, not only at their events with low-key shots they used to send in their presentations, not only in the business moves they was trying to make in the PS4 era to starve Microsoft of content and force them out of the market. Not only the business moves that they were doing at the beginning of this generation to continuously try to starve them of content, charging third party an Xbox tax, meaning to say, if you're going to put this game on Xbox, we're going to charge you to do that. We're going to charge you for crossplay. They've been doing it for a while. Proudly. And the Sony fanboys don't say nothing. They laugh. They applaud it because it's genius. Because as long as Sony is in first place, that's all they care about. But it's a problem now because it's not so much of Aaron Greenberg putting a profile pic on his Twitter account. That's not the problem. The issue is that Microsoft just acquired Activision Blizzard. And now they own one of the most iconic characters that was associated with the PlayStation brand. And they're mad. They are mad. He's not taunting. You're just mad. Because you know Crash Bandicoot is going to be exclusive to Xbox. It's platform essential over there now. They got hella Spyro and Crash Bandicoot and Banjo Kazooie and about 4 or 5, 6 different platformers. They own the Western RPG. Japan, if you're gonna starve us of y'all RPGs? Well, we're going to support our own. We'll just buy up the whole Western RPG market. And they now do. World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Elder Scroll Online. I could keep going. Fable, In Exile, Obsidian. They're mad. They are mad over a profile, but it ain't the profile pic. They're going to use the profile pic as an excuse to lash out because deep down in their heart, they don't want to say, we're mad about Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard and Call of Duty and all of that stuff. They're mad. And instead of just being 100 with themselves, instead of not saying anything, like, you know what, it's cool. I'm Sony, woo out the band. They lashing out at the profile pic. It's childish. It's childish. You mean to tell me Sony can taunt Microsoft for a whole generation? You mean to tell me y'all, your fan base and community, y'all can make memes of Phil and all that stuff for a whole generation? The Xbox got all this for a whole generation, but Aaron Greenberg can't put Crash Bandicoot in his profile pic because he's been insensitive to y'all emotions because y'all acting like emotional women when it comes to them acquiring Activision Blizzard. Make it make sense. Make this make sense, people. It doesn't at all. It doesn't at all. Let me get some of these super chats, and then we're gonna move on to the next subject. But I had to say something about it because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right? Mac City Entertainment with the $2. The Card Box, y'all, that's the new name, Mac City. The Card Box. The Card Box is the future of X-Card. Oh man, you're gonna Tip Diamond with the $2 with sub post. Nothing but facts. Hit the like button. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So I want to move on, right? We talked about that. The next thing I want to talk about is, okay. All right. I've been with the Xbox since the OG Xbox, since it came into the industry, right? I was a beta tester for Xbox Live and all that. I had OG Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X. I brought my kids to Series S. I have the Series X, right? So I've seen Microsoft throughout over 20 years go through the ups and downs and the learning process of learning how to exist in the gaming market. Because when you're new to something, it's a constant learning process. Even still to this day, they are still learning how to exist or coexist in this big market, right? Over the last 7 to 8 years, transitioning from the 360 era to the Xbox One era, it was pretty tough. I mean, Microsoft started out strong, and then they just fell off the table, right? A lot of things that they came into with the always online, which it was some great features there, but how they chose to message that to their community base or to the gaming community period was messed up. And putting TV before gaming content is always a no-no. We buy these boxes to game on. TV and other features are added incentives in terms of what we come to do on the box. So having the ability to watch TV and stuff like that, those are add-ons. But the core idea of, and the reason why we buy these systems is to play great games. And I think Microsoft in the Xbox One era got away from that, and it showed, and the gaming community pushed back. They pushed back on it, and I don't blame them. They pushed back on it. Funding got cut, games got cut. They stopped making AAA games. They stopped selling as much systems. Everything just went to shit pretty much, right? And for that entire time, there was a community of gamers. You might call them Sony fans, you might call them ponies. They weren't empathetic or sympathetic to what was going on in the Xbox community and what was going on with Xbox, period. They was not sympathetic or they weren't empathetic, right? And so they laughed. We've seen 7 years of memes. Xbox has no games. Xbox is dog shit. Xbox is trash. Microsoft needs to leave the game industry. Xbox needs to leave the game industry. We don't want you here. All of this, right? So I did a show, episode 1 of State of Gaming with my brother Double O Mello and Noah. And towards the end of that show, I talked about how after the Activision announcement, that PlayStation fans was literally going or reaching out to Joe Biden to try to get him to stop this acquisition. I even seen where the tweet where Ralph Nader responded to the announcement of this acquisition in terms of them saying we're going to look closely at what's going on here to make sure everything is warped. You have ponies all under there, like, yeah, this is a monopoly, antitrust laws, and this and that. Just throwing words out there, not knowing how big the game industry is, not knowing that Microsoft will have to buy way more than Activision in order for it to even be in that conversation of any antitrust laws or anything dealing with a monopoly. But they was out there doing it. So I made fun of that. Right? And I posted a short clip of it on Twitter, to promote the channel, to promote the show, and to get people to come over and subscribe to the platform. Because, we're trying to build a platform. We Xbox gamers. We're primarily Xbox gamers, but we own all the systems. Mello and Noah, they play everything. Everything. I don't care if it's Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. They play it all, right? But they're primarily as Xbox centric, So I made fun of that. It was like a skit. It was on the fly. And we was laughing because I was laughing. It's funny as hell that we're reaching out to the president who's trying to push a Build Back Better plan. And y'all are in that man DMs and stuff like that telling him to stop Microsoft from buying Activision. It's still funny as hell to me, right? So it was funny when that was brought to my attention. And so this guy made a tweet about it saying, let me show you. These dudes are emotional, bro. None of this, people had no empathy or wasn't sympathetic to what was going on in the Xbox community and the lack of games. They was calling for Microsoft to be dead. They was calling for Xbox to be out of the community. And as usual, they wanted PlayStation to dominate, right? Right? Those were their desires. But like I say all the time, we don't always get the things we desire, right? Let me see here. Where is it? I think I got it. Here we go. And y'all know this dude. We're going to give him a little bit of showtime. Look. We're going to give him a little bit of showtime. Look. So this is the part of the clip. This is the clip. Yo, so let me mute that. So he chopped this clip up to where I'm starting off saying, Joe Biden, we're about to lose Call of Duty, as if I'm making fun of the fact that they may or may not lose Call of Duty. I wasn't making fun of the fact that they may or may not lose it. And even if I was, I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I was making fun of the fact that you all are reaching out to the president over a gaming issue. In all my years of being in this community, I have never seen a group of gamers get so emotional to where they're reaching out to the president of the United States and congressmen trying to get them to step in to stop a gaming acquisition. Yes, that shit is funny as hell. And I laughed because it was funny. He says, I understand sticking it to the ponies, but to be this happy, hysterically happy, 150 million people lose COD. This is what happened when parents give no toys to their children. You see, he's salty. I'm not happy that y'all about to lose COD or me. I don't give a fuck. I don't even play COD multiplayer. The last 2 COD games I played, only played the single player. I played COD multiplayer back in the 360. That's about it. I don't care that y'all may or may not have it. And I don't give a fuck that you feel some type of way about me laughing, because I know if the shoe was on the other foot, one, we will be not having a conversation on whether these games will be on other platforms or not. Sony would have took everything off Microsoft in the Switch platform and kept it exclusive to their player base. And you guys would have been taunting, laughing, doing the same thing that you are insinuating I'm doing in this video. And that's why you cut it off and chopped it to that portion. Because the skit I did, what I said prior to that video, shows that I was making fun of the people that was reaching out to Joe Biden. But I wanted to talk about this to show you how emotional these non-emotional gamers say they are. This hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Let me tell you something. It hurts. Right? And look, I'm not going to be sympathetic or empathetic to a community or a fan base that wasn't empathetic or sympathetic to the Xbox community. And you can say I'm being childish, tit for tat, or anything like that. I don't care. But this is what we have to, and he didn't tag me in it either. He didn't tag me in it or nothing like that. So it's cool. It's cool. It's all right. We know y'all crying. If y'all want to see the whole video, check out State of Gaming episode 1. Sony tried to force Microsoft out of the market. That's the headline. It was a great show. It was a very informative show. And so don't let this little chopped up video, stop you from going to see what the things that we spoke about on that show. Okay. So I want to move along, right? This is what it's come to. So the next thing I want to do is I want to talk about this. I just wanted to do this quick show. I'm going to try to do a State of Gaming episode 2 later on today. I got to get up with the guys And we're gonna go from there. But let me unshare my screen because I'm gonna put some up here that can't be seen. Um, Now, I want to talk about the real reason um, Microsoft acquired Activision, um, and it's bigger than than what we all think it is. It has nothing to do with Sony. Has nothing to do with Nintendo. Let me here you go. Where is that? Oh, there we go. And let me click this link too. I can bring this link up on screen too. And I'll drag this over here. And so, okay. And I could share this because this is public knowledge here. This is public knowledge here. Let me bring that up. Let me do this here. Let me bring that up. Okay, so you all can see it. And let me drag this out of the way. All right. All right. Now, the thing is, I'm gonna have to be very careful in what I say and how I say it. Okay. One, because I don't want to put out any information that they told me I can't put out to protect them. And number two, I want to protect myself in terms of my job. So anything I say from here is my personal opinion and does not display the opinion of my employer, and whom I work for. These are all my personal opinions and hypotheticals in theory. Let me put that out there. Let me say it again. What I'm about to say is all theory and hypothetical and my opinion, and does not mirror the opinion of my employer. Okay. What's good? What's good? What's good? Now, I just want to scroll down because someone was pointing out to me. It said Activision Blizzard has nearly 400 million active players in 190 countries and $3 billion franchise. This acquisition will make Game Pass one of the most compelling and diverse lineups of gaming content in the industry. But you say, okay, Post, we know that. All right. And if you go back and you look at all the videos that people are putting out, most of the content of them saying why Microsoft has made this purchase has, well, they're trying to prevent Tencent and Amazon from buying them and Google, all of that. True. But that's not the main reason. If you look at all the antitrust stuff that's going on in the news, right? I think there was 3 companies named. There was Facebook, it was Google, it was Amazon, and it was Apple. Microsoft, but it was really Google, I think Google, Apple, Amazon, and stuff like that. Microsoft wasn't named. You know why? Because those antitrust laws are pretty much aimed at Google and Apple, right? So, and you know why? Because if you look at the cell phone market, they're pretty much Android devices and they're Apple devices. When you download content on these devices, you're either downloading from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. There's no other store. It's just those two, right? We see what went on with Epic and Epic in terms of their store. We see how that brought in Microsoft in terms of what they was trying to do with xCloud. This move is exactly for that. It's a move for the distribution model of the cell phone and to try to disrupt that model and gain leverage over Google and Apple. That's why they brought Activision, who owns King, who is the one that I think the third biggest mobile company in terms of revenue. So it's not just about Amazon and Google or anything like that. I can say that much. It's about disrupting, you could pretty much say, a monopoly on the distribution model of how content are distributed on Android devices or Google devices or Apple devices. And given that Activision and what they own in the mobile space will not only give Microsoft a foothold in that industry, but it will give them something to hang over both of their heads in terms of negotiations. Now, the antitrust laws are already aimed at that. At least the new ones are. Okay? But I know people have been saying they're trying to, it's not just to prevent those companies from acquiring Activision Blizzard. This is a total play to disrupt the distribution model in terms of the mobile industry and how games are distributed. Because you're going to get your content only two ways. Either that's going to be through a Apple store or Google Play Store. Either way, think about it. Think about it. Who dominates the mobile industry? Google and Apple. Either you're going to have an Android device, or Google device, or an Apple device. How you receive your content only comes through two stores. That's it. And you have to play by their rules. You have to play by their rules. Without, in terms of the terms and service and the things that they laid out in terms of service for their platforms. This is a play to disrupt that. Now, how that may play out, we'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, people were correct when they say it's bigger than Sony, it's bigger than Nintendo. They're not even at the table. They somewhere down there. Okay. It's no disrespect to Sony and Nintendo, but this is different kind of money, you know. And it will take a company like a Microsoft or Amazon or Google or that's as big, that have power like that and the funding to be able to make moves to try to disrupt those models, because that's going to take money to do. And when this was brought to my attention, and I can't show y'all the other stuff. I can't show y'all, like, this is pretty much in, how can I say? I can't say the other stuff that was told and shown to me, but I just wanted to give y'all a different perspective and a different angle on why this is happening. It's not about Call of Duty. It's not about, yes, Call of Duty make billions of dollars. They're not worrying about whether they gain Sony fans or lose them. They don't care about that. They have a different goal. Yes, on the content side, it will help drive Game Pass, a subscription model that Microsoft is at the forefront of right now, because there's no other subscription model. Well, that's that's competing with Game Pass right now that's coming from a PlayStation or Nintendo. So by the time PlayStation get their shit together, by the time big tech start infiltrating this industry and probably coming up with their own subscription models, we know Stadia and stuff like that, but they're playing catch up to what Microsoft is doing right now. Microsoft is trying to gain this is on the gaming side. They're trying to gain a foothold in the subscription model side in terms of Game Pass. By the time the competitors catch up and try to match what they're doing, they want to be the number one subscription service in terms of gaming content in the industry. Period. This Activision deal helps them get there. But the overall goal is to use this in Activision assets, especially what they have in the mobile space, to disrupt the distribution model in the mobile space. They have to, because if they don't, you got to look at it. Apple, in terms of gaming revenue, is one of the biggest companies in the world, the biggest company in the world. They make, in terms of gaming revenue on their store platform, based on what's being said in the news, they made more money than Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo combined. Now, getting into the Apple Store, and see, that's why I want to do the show with the guys, so I can kind of give something this information, because based on my employer, I cannot break down, due to me trying to want to secure my job and my job duties, I cannot go in and break down certain stuff and certain things. Okay. And so when I get up with the guys and we do another State of the Play episode 2, I'll make sure we come back to this and y'all could get their perspective and things like that. But yeah, Google and Apple, especially in the mobile space, and mobiles make up more than 50 or 60% of the entire gaming market by itself. You have people who created an Apple gaming app and became millionaires and billionaires overnight in the mobile sector. Are free to play and microtransactions. So yeah, that's the real reason why this acquisition is occurring. Microsoft have their sights set on Google and Apple and the distribution model on the mobile side. Okay, that's the real target. That's the real target. Now, the optics and things like that, like I said, I can't say. I can't really give you. Even if I wanted to give my personal opinion, I'm not. And just so I can, make sure that I can continue to feed my family. But I want to know. You say if I can make a leak. No. You gain trust with people. A person trusts me enough to give me or show me that information of what I was shown, and to respect that person's trust that they had in me to even show me that, I'm not gonna say nothing. But I can share enough of this information to say, hey, it's not just about combating Amazon and Google and stuff like that. This has something to deal with that was probably not even on y'all radar. And I don't think a lot of people really think about how games are distributed in the mobile sector. That's why those two companies are making so much money. Because if everything has to go through your store, and guess what? The same game that's on the Apple Store is on the Google Play Store too. They eat. They eat. Right? Hey, post up. Did Joe Biden hit the hold on? Shout out to Aaron Neff with the $5. What's good, post? It hasn't sunk in for these police that this gen isn't gonna be a stump out like last gen. Y'all shook now. This gen just started. Yeah, this gen just started, man. We have a long way to go. Let me see. Shout out to Aaron Neff with that. With the super chat. I didn't even know I could do that. But yeah, so Microsoft is not spending $70 billion to keep Call of Duty, just to keep Call of Duty off PlayStation or to have anything like that. It's way big. The game is way bigger than that, especially when you're trying to not only solidify yourself in the console space, the PC space, in the mobile space. $70 billion is not just for Sony, who, no disrespect to them, shout out to Sony and all the things that they've done in the gaming space, but this is the upper echelon. They're in the upper room. They're sitting at like someone said, they're sitting at a bigger table, and they having a different conversation because the money is different up there. And I looked, and I'm just gonna show you this. Let me show you. Let me show you this. And hold on, let me do this here real quick. All right, let me show you this. I'm gonna show you how different it is. And this is no disrespect to them. I'm just saying the battle is among the big boys now, because Microsoft know big tech is coming, and they know big tech can buy their way in. So you spend that $70 billion to say, hey, big tech, if you coming, I know you could spend with us. I know you have pretty much the same resources as us. But we're going to show you that in order to come in and gain a foothold, you're going to have to spend some money that you might want to spend, or some money that you might not want to spend. But let's look at this. This is the difference. Let me share this. Look at this. Let me get this off the screen. Look at this. I'm telling y'all the difference. According to the Sony Group's most recent financial statement, as reported on June 22nd, 2021, Sony total debt is at $2.09 trillion, with $773.29 billion in long-term debt and $1.32 trillion in current debt. Adjusting for $1.79 trillion in cash equivalents, the company has a net debt of $305.88 billion. I'm just telling y'all the difference. Microsoft, according to Microsoft's most recent balance sheet, as reported on July 29th, 2021, the total debt is at $58.15 billion, not trillion, that's billion, with $50.07 billion in long-term debt and only $8 billion in current debt. They just spent $8 billion in cash on Bethesda. They have the money to pay off that debt. It's like Mello, my bro Mello said, they just in debt. I think that was either Mello or my brother Church Shoes. I call him Church Shoes. I think it was Church Shoes that said they're just in debt to be in debt. They don't even have to be in debt. But sometimes in the world of business, sometimes you don't have to use your own money to get things done, right? And I guess that's why they're probably, 50 billion or something in debt. Sometimes you don't use your own money to get things done. You know, just like some people when they buy stuff, they don't use their own money. They might use a credit card and just, pay the monthly payments on that credit card, which um, builds up that credit card in terms of what you're able to spend, but it also helps with your credit. Shout out to who is this? Tiandre with the $2. Glad you're doing this. Keep doing the Lord's work. Yeah, I just wanted to give y'all a different angle, and then hopefully you all. I'm gonna get deeper into the antitrust laws, the new antitrust laws that are coming out. I'm gonna do that on the state of gaming with Mello and Noah. And so I'm doing a research. I want to do my due diligence and my research on that. I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about in terms of those antitrust laws, who they are targeted for, why they're making the changes, what was the antitrust laws prior to, and then kind of compare and contrast based on where we're at in the gaming industry and the moves that Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and all these other movers and shakers are making, and how will the new antitrust laws affect certain purchases or acquisitions in the future. But I just wanted to give y'all a different perspective. I know everybody been telling you, well, they're trying to prevent people from buying up these companies like Activision, but from my understanding, Activision went around to a lot of the big boys who had the money to buy them and was turned away. Facebook turned them away. I don't know if Sony was a call. Maybe they didn't go to Sony because they knew Sony couldn't afford them. Who knows? But when they went and knocked on Microsoft door, Phil answered the phone. Nadal answered the phone and said, "Let's drop this paperwork." And that was back in November. It is January. They done it in November. And it's January. And they didn't make the announcement already at the beginning of this year. And Nadalia already pointed out that there are more acquisitions and things are coming. I don't think they're done. Will they buy another publisher? Who knows? I don't know what they're going to do at this point, because after they brought or purchased Bethesda, people said that was it, that they're not going to buy another publisher and that they just was going to buy small, AA or indie or AAA developers. And then where the first month of the year, and Phil comes out and saying, "I'm welcoming Activision Blizzard to Xbox." So at this point, I don't know what the hell's going on. I do want to say this. A guy, if y'all, I was watching the Iron Lords podcast yesterday, which was a dope podcast. They had the who's who of everybody on that damn show. That was one of the best podcasts that I have seen in a long time. And for Cognito to be able to manage and mediate all those different characters and personalities coming in and out, he did a wonderful, wonderful job. So shout out to them. I know a lot of them are following me on Twitter. So, and I'm following them. And every now and then they may like it and comment on one of my tweets. But I forgot the guy's name on this show. He said that he was hearing rumors about Batman. And they was like, what? He was like, Batman. And he was saying that he don't know if Microsoft is going to purchase WB or if they're going to purchase DC Comics, because DC Comics, he was saying that they're in a little bit of trouble right now, right? And so he didn't go in no further than that, but he did say he was hearing rumblings about Batman and it being associated with Microsoft, and that he didn't know if it had to deal with WB or Microsoft purchasing DC Comics. What I want to ask y'all, if you're Microsoft and you have the choice between purchasing WB or DC Comics, who do you buy first? Or who do you purchase over the other? Drop your answer in the chat for me. If you're Microsoft and you're sitting at the table and they say WB, DC Comics, and you have to choose between one of the two, do you buy WB or do you buy DC Comics? All right. Somebody said that thing going to be DC and WB. Scope said DC then WB. Glenron said DC Comics. Yeah. Yeah, they do got a lot of cash left to spend. They probably want to spend it before the tax season. They probably want to spend it, and that's why they probably made another reason why they probably made this large acquisition, because when they hold on to money like that, when they keep money like that, they have to pay more back in taxes. So by them spending this or making this purchase, they can write it off. They can write it off. And instead of spending more, they can, get to, especially with all the corporate incentives and taxes and stuff like that, they write it off and probably get more back or get at least some of it back. If they get DC, it'll be for their metaverse. There will be streaming TV shows in the future coming. Yeah, that's another thing that was brought to my attention about how many times Nadalia, Phil, and Kodak said metaverse on them calls. Microsoft specifically Microsoft metaverse. And I think somebody brought this up on the Iron Lords podcast as well. That show was very, 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 very informative. Both really DC easy. No, I know Warner Brothers own. Don't Warner Brothers own DC Comics? Correct. Warner Brothers owns DC Comics, right? Let me know. I'm not really into the comic scene or anything like that. Let me know who owns. When I say WB, I'm talking about their gaming division in terms of their studios. Well, and I understand people saying WB. Well, I don't know. DC Comics, when you own the licensing and stuff and all that, or it depends who owns the license to all the Batman stuff and DC Comics stuff. Does DC Comics own their own license, or is that owned by Warner Brothers, the movie side? Yeah, I know Discovery purchase, and see that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying if Microsoft hypothetically, if Microsoft brought DC Comics, do they get all the licenses and intellectual property that comes with that, or do Warner Brothers, the movie side, still owns them? Yeah, Discovery on. Yeah, I know that, Brown. I know Discovery purchased them, and I know AT&T is looking to sell WB. Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying what was said. I'm not in really. I haven't watched a Batman cartoon in years. I'm not going to even sit up here and profess like I know what's going on in that scene. I know the guys, when we in a Discord, they be talking about all type of metaverses and superheroes, they background. They be going back years back too. Like, I'll be lost in the sauce. From, I wasn't the way I was raised, we weren't raised up with comic books and stuff like that. My folks was pretty much out in the streets, You know, where the boys on the corner was our comics, was our comics and our superheroes and stuff like that. So I can't profess that I know anything thing about that. That's why I'm trying to get um, you all perspective. But I know the Xbox community has been wanting ever since Sony announced they got Spider-Man and they got Wolverine, and they probably do something else with Marvel in their characters and things like that. I see the Xbox community uh, wanting a superhero or something like that for the ecosystem or for the box itself. Would y'all be fine with Batman? If Microsoft was to get Batman exclusive, if Microsoft was to get Batman exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem, pretty much Xbox and PC, would you all be fine with that? Given that Sony has Spider-Man and Wolverine. Wow. Well, we know that person was going to say that. We know that. We know he was going. We know he was going to come in and say that. Yeah, buddy. Now, it ain't what I want. I'm asking y'all what y'all want. What's that? Oh, I got to get ready and go and drive out in the snow. I'm asking what you all want. Daredevil or Batman? Okay. It ain't what I want. Like I said, I'm not on the comic scene. I'm not into these Marvel characters. I'm not into, well, not to say I'm not into them. I watch the movies, but in terms of being highly educated on the characters, their biopics and stuff like that, the different metaverses and worlds and the crossovers and things like that. I'm not in tune with all that. So when the guys, when Play and Manhattan and Von them be in a Discord and they be having in Buck and they be having long conversations about comic book characters and Marvel and DC and this character was this character and came and I'll be lost in the sauce. I just sit there and listen because look, if like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, sometimes that's not to say shit. So I just sit there. So that's why I'm asking you all in terms of, I know this is just a rumor because the guy said it was a rumor, but how would y'all feel if Microsoft got an exclusive Batman title? Shout out to Emmanuel A1 with the $5. What up, Post Up? F Batman, if we go in DC, we need a game with black representation on Xbox like Black Lightning. You know what? That TV, my brother tried to put me up on that TV show. I think I seen the first season, and I didn't see much after that. But I don't even know if they run a TV show anymore. But they said that the Black Lightning TV show was dope. I don't know about that, but we'll see. Let me see here. All right. Spawn? Yeah, Spawn is fire. Spawn is fire. I think a Superman is hard to do. I think that's why you haven't had a Superman. Yeah. Quick correction. Discovery doesn't hold on. Discovery doesn't own WB. They merged. Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks, uppercase J. I didn't know that. I thought it was a buyout. I thought that they brought him out. I didn't know they just merged. So WB still retains ownership not only on those game studios, but the DC comic licenses and IP as well. That's okay. All right, thanks for that correction, bro. Static Shock. Oh, no, we're not doing this. We ain't figured that boy say Static Shock. Yo, hey, let me hold on. Christopher, you came in here late. You don't even know what I'm talking about. You're assuming you know what I'm talking about. Get your capping ass up out of here. Nobody want to hear that. Go cry. Go cry on Twitter with the rest of you people, with the rest of your people, man. Crying over a profile picture with Crash Bandicoot. That's crazy. Y'all are crazy. I've never seen a fan base reach out to Ralph Nader and Joe Biden to get them to try to stop an acquisition. This is crazy. This is funny, bro. It's really funny, man. But that's what y'all on, man. Because I know y'all in pain, y'all in tears. But like I said, this is bigger than just Sony, Nintendo, Amazon, and stuff like that. Microsoft is trying to use this to disrupt. They're purchasing Activision Blizzard because they know they get King. King is very big. I think it's the third largest publisher in revenue in terms of the mobile market. And they're going to use that along with other acquisitions to try to disrupt the distribution model that's going on the cell phone side between Google and Apple. Because when you're creating games and you're distributing games, especially in the mobile space, you're going to go through one or two stores, Apple or Google. That's it. And they pretty much have a stranglehold on that. And so, that's why Microsoft, one of the major reasons why they acquired Activision Blizzard. So we're going to see how all that play out. Shout out to Top Cat 87 on Ken with the $2. Keeping Marvel and get Blue Marvel. I think with what Sony and Disney and Marvel got going on with their relationships, I don't know if we might see a Marvel character or a Marvel game on Xbox. I don't know. Especially with them trying to starve Xbox out of the market. And if they're putting stipulations, just think about this. I know y'all asking for a Marvel game on Xbox. If Sony was charging third parties a tax, say if they create a game for PlayStation and they put it on Xbox, if they was charging them for that, if they told Capcom that they was unable to put a Resident Evil game into Game Pass with that I know that Resident Evil contract that got exposed. If they're doing that, I'm pretty sure the success they're seeing with Marvel IP in terms of Spider-Man and all that, I'm pretty sure there's some stipulations inside the contract that says stay away from Microsoft and Xbox. That's just how Sony's been. That's just how they've been working over the last since they've been in the industry. They tried to do the same thing with Sega, and I know y'all say, "Well, Sega, did itself in." Yeah, Sega did itself in, but Sony, did what they did in terms of starving them with big content to kind of speed up that process. But that's how they all play. Even Nintendo tried to monopolize the game industry at one point. They're not angels either. So, I mean, none of these companies play fair. They're in a very competitive market. They're fighting for your dollars. They're fighting for billions and billions of dollars in a market that's constantly growing. Is going to get even bigger over the next 10 to 15 years. And so somebody is going to try to fight to have a dominant foothold in this gaming market that's so broad right now. Shout out to Bay Area with the $5. Good work, Post. Dropping games as usual. Hit the like button, people. Thank you so much. I thank y'all for tuning in and showing up and supporting the platform. I just wanted to talk about the hypocrisy that's going on in terms of exclusivity, and I want to talk about one more thing before I go. This notion that what Sony's doing is different from what Microsoft is doing. And the way Microsoft is going about it is bad. And the way Sony did it is good. I want to talk about that. I did a video on Destin video where he was talking about this perception among not only amongst the media but amongst the community as well, that when Sony do something is good and when Microsoft do something is bad. And I think this is a culture that Sony has created over generations of them being in the gaming industry. And I think is one reason why certain content creators in certain media outlets are scared to be truthful when it comes to Sony, their products, and the content they put out. You've seen in the past where a person have literally came out and said they was blackballed from anything PlayStation due to them being 100% critical about certain PlayStation content and product. And so I've been on Twitter, and the first thing I see is, especially with this, well, Sony is buying studios; they're not buying publishers, so it's not different. The money that they're spending is different. Okay, how many studios that they consume at one time is different. The end goal is all the same, right? They're buying up studios or multiple studios or publishers in this case because they both want to provide exclusive content to their platform or their services, right? Sony, on one hand, doesn't have the money to spend like Microsoft do. So they buy what they can afford. And they have to make very smart decisions on what they buy and how much they want to spend. Microsoft, on the other hand, Microsoft has been sitting on money for a very, very, very long time, right? It took a while for the company itself to be 100% behind the gaming aspect of the company. And now that the company is 100% behind Xbox and gaming as a whole at Microsoft, the checkbook has opened up. And that money that is usually afforded to the operating system division, the Office division, the Azure division, is now afforded to the Xbox division, right? So don't sit up here and tell me that Microsoft is bad because they're buying publishers and Sony is good because they're buying these small studios and they're cultivating them, as if Microsoft has never brought small studios or cultivated any studio. Don't tell me that. Don't sit up here and laugh at Microsoft for buying Double Fine or AAA studios. Don't sit up here and laugh when y'all assume that the interview that Booty, I think it's that Booty, the I forgot his first name, the head of Microsoft's Xbox Game Studios. He did an interview and he was talking about pretty much what Microsoft is or Xbox is in terms of purchasing studios. And all the Sony fans ran with that clip saying they're going to buy small single A and double A studios and throw them in Game Pass. And they laughed. Xbox Game Pass fodder. It's just going to be AAA and indie studios. That's all. They're not trying to buy big studios. And you laughed at it, and you used that clip to respond to multiple tweets. Then they go bad Bethesda. Then we asked, I thought they were just buying double A's. Well, that's the only publisher they can go buy. The rest is going to be double A. They purchased Double Fine. Okay. Then they go and buy Activision Blizzard. Now y'all want to flip the role. Now you want to applaud Sony for doing something that you thought Microsoft said they was doing and y'all was laughing at them. Because the table's flipped. Y'all know that clip I'm talking about. Kratos used that clip all the time. Porter Rock used that clip all the time to show or to say Matt Booty, to pretty much say that Matt Booty was saying Microsoft is just going to buy double A and single A studios and try to build them up. The Game Pass fodder is only going to be but double A and small studios. They buy two publishers and y'all condemning them for it, but y'all saying, well, Sony out here buying these small studios, these niche studios that they work with, you know what I'm saying, for a long time. See, their way is better, because, they small studios, they cultivate them, then they work for them for years. Get your dumb ass up. Stop. You're not finna flip the script. You're not finna move the goalpost on us. I'm gonna find that Matt Booty clip too. I'm gonna find it because every time we got to talking about purchasing and stuff like that, acquiring, they always brung up that Matt Booty clip about the double A and the single A and their intentions on what they was looking to purchase. They not finna purchase no really big AAA studio. They don't want to spend that type of money. They just want to buy indie and double A studios for Game Pass and then try to build them up. Yeah. What you gotta say now? What y'all talking about now? Now y'all saying Microsoft out here bad for bad publishers trying to buy their way to the top. But Sony out here good because, they buying small single A, double A studios, trying to cultivate and build their way to the top. The same thing we laughed at when we thought Microsoft was doing. But they turned around and brought two publishers. It is looking really different around here, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's looking very different around here. Because as we said, and as we continue to say, that to always take Phil words or Matt Booty words and misconstrue them, and y'all always flip them to with your own perspective and your own opinion on what they were saying. You guys actually thought that Microsoft was not going to really invest in third party or big studios or even purchase publishers, that they was looking for small niche studios, double A studios to throw in Game Pass because that's the type of service it was. And still is, according to you all. But that's the deal. Shook your core. Because it came out of nowhere. And then this Activision Blizzard on a Tuesday morning, it was a Tuesday morning, a cold January in the windy city of Chicago. I woke up. I heard the whistle from the teapot on the stove. I turned off the fire. I slipped on a pair of socks because the floor was very cold. As I walked downstairs to my office, I glanced at my phone. And from there, I saw multiple tweets that Microsoft was acquiring Activision Blizzard. I tensed up. I assumed that what I was looking at wasn't real and that the dry slob on my face, the crud in my eyes from my sleepiness was causing me to be bewildered and not realize that I was actually in reality that I was no longer asleep. These are the Acquisition Chronicles. Thank you for tuning in. As I sat in my chair and I typed on my computer, this cannot be real. I made a phone call to a dear friend. Boop, 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 boop. Z, Microsoft just brought Activision Blizzard. My friend responded in these chronicles, oh my God, oh my God. I hang up the phone and I tend to go on Twitter and celebrate amongst my community and watch the tears flow from the eyes of pony fans. Yes, you are now in tune with Acquisition Chronicles. Snap your fingers for me. Finger snaps for me. Finger snaps. Finger snaps. But yeah, man, I'm just messing with y'all. Look, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Thank y'all for supporting. Thank you all for always showing up. I got to over 100 people watching. This is a milestone for me by myself. This is incredible. Continue to show up. Continue to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so y'all can be notified every time I go live. The content is going to get better. This is my office / gaming / studio recording producer area. Y'all can't see all the equipment that's around me. But I'm still working with this. I'm about to get lights up and shit everywhere and really hook this up. And I don't know what I'm going to put back there. You know, I'm thinking about putting a microwave. No, not a microwave. But y'all know at the old place I had the air fryer back behind me, right? Thinking about putting the air fryer back there and be frying and grilling some chicken while I'm doing the live stream. I'm not playing. Y'all say I was living in a pantry or streaming in a pantry. I might just put an air fryer back there, be grilling some chicken live on air. Pull that shit out right on the camera, bro. I'm not, look, we're gonna keep this exciting. We're gonna keep it innovative. We're gonna eat. Look, I'm gonna have a mukbang and talking gaming at the same time. Look, I'm gonna tell. Look, that's another show I'm working on. We're gonna eat. We're gonna talk gaming. All right. I got to get another camera so y'all can see my plate of food and what I'm eating at the time. All right. I'm gonna ask y'all to bring y'all dinner. Y'all bring y'all dinner wherever y'all eating at the time, and we're gonna eat. We're going to bless our food. We're going to enjoy our food. We're going to break bread together, and we're going to talk gaming together. Ain't nobody doing that. The mukbang scene is very huge right now. I just think I should combine that and gaming and try to do something creative. Let me know what y'all think about that. Hey, Chris, you're not welcome in the Xbox community, bro. Shout out to Brown Devil with the fat eye. You're not welcome. Hey, uppercase J, I got you, bro. I got you, bro. We could definitely make that happen, bro. Like I say, bro, in Bang Bang, that bro, look, let me tell y'all something, bro. That uppercase, y'all don't want no parts of him and no debates, nothing, gaming conversation at all. That boy a wizard. That boy is a wizard. And I'm gonna get him on the show so y'all can find out. We can definitely make that happen, uppercase J. No problem. Christopher, you are not welcome in the gaming, in the Xbox community. Get your dressing and ass up out of here. We don't want you over here, player. I'm going to keep it real. Get your pony ass over there somewhere else. Go sing happy birthday to PlayStation or something, bro. You're not coming to the Xbox. We're not doing that. You're not green. You're not none of that. Lord, as he should block you. If Lord Addict block you, then that's a problem. If Laura Addy got you blocked, there's definitely a problem. But thank y'all for tuning in because I got to go. My BM is calling me. I got to go to the grocery store to make sure, our children are is fed. But uppercase J, bro, I got you. We definitely going to make that happen. And we're going to make that happen soon because I want people to hear your opinions on everything that's going on. Because I just read some of your stuff in Bang Bang on some of them posts in Bang Bang, and you was bodying people up in there. But I definitely want to get it on this platform so people can hear your strong opinions about everything that's going on and be educated about a lot of things that's going on. So we'll definitely make that happen. Thank you all for tuning in, man. I really appreciate it. Keep hitting the like button, keep subscribing, keep hitting that notification bell. Thanks for everybody that in the super chat that donated and stuff like that. As I say, it only takes a little to gain a lot. That's very much appreciated. And as I always say, whether you agree with me or not, as long as we have a conversation, as long as you enjoy the conversation and we can take some from that conversation. I don't know everything. We all can learn something from each other. So I respect if you disagree or not. That's what it's about, having opposing ideas and opinions to help cultivate the conversation. And we're going to continue to do that. So whether you're Sony, your Xbox or Nintendo, or wherever you rap, continue to show up and we'll continue to have those conversations. Y'all have a great day. God bless and stay safe.